The three words that will best describe my past, present, and future will be naive for the past, balance for the present, and embody for the future. The relationship was a roller coaster ride where the highs were fun and thrilling and the lows were nauseating and exhausting. I didn't know how to get off. I was trapped. I remember crawling on the floor, crying my eyes out, and still waiting for him to get back, even if I knew that he went out to cheat on me. And not mentioning anything about that when he came back, just putting on a mask to navigate this situation. And this was just the tip of the iceberg. Hi, my name is Anouchka Blessed. If I look back into my past, some of the things that happened to me seem at first like bad luck. The video you've just seen is me sharing my experience in staying in a toxic relationship that happened 10 years ago. I'm here today to share how living that unhealthy relationship has shaped me to become the person I am today. Today, people tend to look up at me, probably because I practice as a lawyer in Paris, work for a major project as a legal counsel in Singapore, and also became an entrepreneur there. On the more personal side, I'm seen as a very independent person who travels to exotic and remote places by herself and who takes bold decisions. But I wasn't always this person. There was a time in my life where I was very dependent with an extremely low self-esteem. There was a time in my life where I was trapped in a toxic relationship. I managed to run away from that unhealthy relation and went through a very tough period where I was letting myself drift with alcohol and short-lived relationships that weren't going anywhere. I was hurt, I'd lost trust in men, and I was emotionally isolated because I falsely believed I couldn't share all the things I went through by staying in that toxic relationship. Basically, I was lost. This period of my life had a deep impact on me. I couldn't comprehend the person I was becoming, and gradually I was forced to pick up the pieces of my life. And the breakup and what followed after was the trigger that set me off on a 10-year journey through many countries, including United States, Thailand, and India, and literally changed me inside out. I was transformed to the very core. I discovered meditation in a Buddhist monastery in Nepal, and I believe this was the first step that got me to change my state of mind and to have a different perspective of the world. A few years later, I left Singapore, where I was living at the time, and started what I call my yoga journey, traveling the world and living out of my suitcase for 3 years. In San Diego, I took my first yoga teacher training and reconnected with the wholeness of my being. I was completely disconnected from my body back then. In Chiang Mai, I came to learn about traditional yoga that is more mainly focused on the philosophy. And with that knowledge, I've learned to stop looking for qualities in other people that I thought I didn't have, such as confidence, courage, etc., and started to direct my look inwards to find these qualities in myself, and I began to literally transform into a more spiritual version of myself and a more emotionally balanced person. In Mumbai, I deepened that knowledge of traditional yoga and started to explore the field of alternative healing practices, hypnotherapy, NLP, etc., which helped me tremendously to face some of my biggest issues in childhood traumas. And with all these experiences combined, I started to trust myself, to reconnect to myself on a deeper level, and most importantly, to heal from my deepest wounds. I can say confidently now that the toxic relationship, the painful breakup, the bad luck that I went through were one of the best things that ever happened to me, because they took me out of my comfort zone. They made me discover a new path to a new version of myself, and they were a wake-up call. I had enough on putting others on a pedestal while letting myself being treated like a doormat, and this whole journey helped me to find my value. What I would advise my younger self is this. You may be thinking that this is the worst time of your life, that you got dragged down in a whirlpool of bad events, but somehow you have to go through this. Your suffering has a meaning. What you see as a negative situation will turn out to be a wonderful blessing. Everything happens for a reason, that life happens for you and not to you. And life is sending those hurdles knowing very well that it is within your reach to overcome them. It could be summarized like this. 1. Have hope, faith that all is going to be well soon. 2. Start to look about the good hidden in every situation. 3. Be open to the world of learning, because what I've learned is that all these negative experiences are teaching us something, and it's up to us if you want to pick up the lessons or not. My last advice, even if it sounds difficult, is to learn to welcome hardships as an opportunity to grow and to become a more evolved person. And becoming evolved is a process that begins with a conscious awakening, which basically means that you start to get to know who you are. You start to get a hold of your most important values, your potential, and your emotional compass. And this, my friend, is when you start to transform your dark cocoon into a beautiful butterfly. Thank you.